Napoleon and the French economy. In 1800, the Bank of France was established, clearly based off the Bank of England, which was one of Britain's greatest weapons in the 17th century, and of course in the Napoleonic Wars as well. And the Bank of France helped Napoleon have lower interest rates to finance war and stabilise the French economy as well. Napoleon also invested in a lot of infrastructure, which included roads, canals, bridges, and of course ports and docks. And this was partially done to rival the Royal Navy. But a big issue France had, like they had in the 18th century, was they could build the ships, but they sometimes struggled to repair ships. And the Royal Navy could always just build more ships and also repair them at a quicker rate than the French. In 1803, Napoleon sold Louisiana to the United States, effectively doubling the size of the United States. And this helped Napoleon fund his wars and also his infrastructure projects. And on top of that, the main reason he sold it, though, was because he didn't believe he could defend it against the British if they tried to take it. And France didn't really control much of this territory. Native Americans did. They just sort of owned it on a map. In 1806, Napoleon introduces the Continental System. This is an embargo on Britain and her empire, and he also forces his allies and other European nations to do this. And this has mixed results. It leads to an increase of smuggling from both sides of the channel. This is nothing new from Britain's side, because a lot of smuggling happened in Britain in general because taxes were so high. But for France, it's had mixed results. They didn't have British products anymore, so the industrialised areas did fairly well. However, shipbuilding did decline in France. This is quite counterintuitive considering he invested into a lot of shipbuilding and ports to try and counter Britain, and now less ships are being built. You're never going to outproduce Britain, especially in shipbuilding during this period. However, Napoleon's constant wars did strain the French economy. However, he did encourage more agricultural production to prevent any food shortages like France experienced during the French Revolutionary Wars and, of course, just before the French Revolution.